Hello and welcome back to the PLP. It's going to be quick and fast some of the highlights this midweek. Had some NLP games just shared, and we're straight into League One and League Two with a bit of Champions League and Europa League Playoff action thrown in as well. Just the scores there, of course. As you can see, there's only two games from League One today, highlighting Foyverton up against Liverpool D. Because we've not seen him quite as much as we've seen Levi this season. I think Levi's coming up at the weekend as well. Then we've got some League Two games as well. Big one to start off with in League Two though. Cheshampton up against Warringham. Two of the pre-season favourites for promotion and both going pretty well. Cheshampton had a loss at the weekend to myself, but still very much in that playoff picture. And then Warringham, with all those games in hand, one of the two favourites to go up at the moment alongside Hart Chamberlain, you'd say. Been a bit in and out for the last week or two. It's not been win after win after win like it was at the start of January. But just any team with Erling Haaland in just carries that threat. A threat mirrored though by Jurgen Klinsmann in recent weeks. He's been probably the informed striker in the league. A hat-trick not so long ago. And I presume he's going to have a chance to score here. No, he's not. It's going to Salah. Dispatched. Cheshampton, obviously the unlucky team to lose out in the playoff final last season. Warringham kind of got restrained by their Europa Conference League schedule. Ended up finishing mid-table. But have always looked, I think, the toughest team to play in League Two so far this year. Struggling so far in the opening stages of this game. Not so long ago revealed the teams of the week for the 7 days just gone. No Warringham. Oh no, got Andy Robertson got in there. No Cheshampton representation. 4 from Danielsea. Hence the Mark Corrigan meme stuck into the group chat just now. That League Two team was Martinez in goal, Azpilicueta, Ron Vlaar, Christopher Ayer and Andy Robertson across the back, Bernardo Silva, Esteban Cambiasso, Deco and Marcus Rashford. And up front, Mark Hughes alongside Jordi Cruyff, who plays for Man Utd C, who we'll see in later. A bit of a Manchester derby up against the Red Whall. I'll try and remember to go through the League One team during Jamie's game. Despite the early Cheshampton pressure, we're all square. The injured Marcus Babel making way. And January acquisition, Morten Gamps Pedersen, another deadline day pickup. Very clever free kick, not one of these trademark blasts into the corner. Sets up an unlikely scorer in Lassana Diarra instead. So unlikely that nobody decided to mark him. Actually, despite Cheshampton's recent pretty decent form, 2 losses against fellow playoff / promotion hopefuls in the space of a week wouldn't be ideal for his charge. If anything, it looks like it would be a third for the away team instead. Oh, Diarra, that's the finishing we're more used to seeing from him. Desai, what a hit! Him and Robert Huth have looked menacing from every single corner in, as you'd expect. And that is the finisher, midfielder Desai rather than centre-back Desai. Set piece danger doesn't get any smaller with Wes Morgan coming on. Oh, Haaland, not marked. Oh my god, that was a good block from Morgan. That seems slightly inevitable. Great block by Big Wes. And a meaty header from Marcel as well. Two all wouldn't be disastrous or particularly helpful for either. A window. Oh, there it is. You don't get through 90 minutes without Erling scoring eventually. Yossi Benayoun sneaking in. Bless him, Wes Morgan. Just didn't fancy following him. That is a big warning sign to everyone else with automatic hopes. Big, big win for Warringham. If you're thinking we've seen a lot of Hart Chamberlain of late, you'd be absolutely correct. He's been highlighted about 3 or 4 more times than anyone else. It's partly because he's playing a lot of individual games on Mondays and the like, but it's also because of his position at the top, and he's playing a lot of other top teams, and I try and get those sort of promotional playoff double headers into the highlight reel, and this is another one. AFC Wimbledon kind of quietly going about their business and cementing themselves in the playoff places in recent weeks, but it's about as tricky an away tie as you could hope for at the moment. Hart Chamberlain always finding a way to win with that all Spursy squad, a very un-Spursy-like season. Not sure if Lawrence is actually talking to me at the moment after Newcastle's away win at Spurs last night, getting Thomas Frank sacked. But I have created a world for him in which he can actually celebrate Tottenham, so he should thank me for that. The days of Raphael van der Vaart seem a long way away, but not in PLP land. Even better today because I don't have to look at silly little Isak up front. It's much nicer seeing Freddie Canute leading the line. Having Isak and Suarez on the pitch at the same time would genuinely be called a rat infestation. Van der Vaart's reward is to be hauled off at half time. Reyes let that one sneak in at his near post. Gareth Bale has started to look like the danger he always had the potential to be in this project. He's a top 10 draft pick. You can understand why. Darren Anderson getting his customary 25 minutes. Literally every single game pops up for Lucas Moore on the right wing. It's probably just about the right amount of game time for him not to snap some sort of muscle. Fantastic management from Poch. Oh, that's a great goal. Little reverse through ball, and that's so unlucky to be offside. The Spurs train trundles on, matches Warringham, and those two really would be my favourites now for automatic promotion. Don't seem to have a chink in their armour at the moment. Bit of a free swing for Zig today. No great shame in losing to this team right now. Don't want to do my classic commentator's curse, but this has the potential to be a fun one. Bustin's really come into some form in recent weeks and actually put himself within touching distance of the playoffs. I think we'll see there. Yeah, he's only 1 or 2 points away from that now, with a few games in hand on others above him. That's come out of nowhere, really. Harry's playoff hopes died a while ago, unfortunately, as did his hope of seeing 4 at the back for more than 1 week. We've now got to a point where Valencia's at centre back and David Luiz is at centre mid, as Arsene Wenger's mental breakdown continues. Gerrard at right wing back. Must be so frustrating for Harry. As soon as he goes to centre mid, he looks like a completely different team. So obvious. You've got Gerrard and Alonso, and instead he's playing David Luiz there, Valencia at centre back and Gerrard at right wing back. Just move him around. It's like Wenger just puts has a hat of positions and players have to pick a name out before the game to see where they're playing. Paul's form has no doubt coincided with the return of most of his players. He had quite a lot of high profile injuries. Overmars, Lampard, Terry, they've all been out for quite long periods. But when he's got his first 11 out, as he seems to have today, it's a pretty dangerous side. You've got to say, anything other than a win today would be a bit of a disappointment given the run he's on. Ron Atkinson overseeing a potential promotion charge. Wasn't really on my bingo card for the start of the year. I've absolutely no idea what formation and team Harry is playing right now. Jamie Redknapp's on. So yeah, Valencia is still at centre back, I think. Gerrard at right wing back. Oh, gilt edge chance. Oh no, Valencia's off. Oh no, he's on the right wing. Jesus Christ, he's gone from centre back to the right wing. I think maybe back to centre back again. Poor bloke. Oh, he's off. Centre back, right wing, bench. As soon as he goes off, Samuel Eto'o, one of the cannier picks. Paul loving a golden oldie, always has. That ambulance you hear is for Arsene Wenger to check his state of mind. Whatever he's tried here has been mental. There we go, to a back four with 10 minutes left and 1-0 down. Gerrard now moving from right wing back to attacking mid. These poor players. And bizarrely, none of that has worked. For some reason now we're shooting up to League One before finishing the League Two assortment. The first look of 2 we're going to have this week. We're seeing Liverpool D twice again at the weekend, still under the guidance of Roy Evans. for those that remember him in the early 90s, mid-90s. Sitting around mid-table. So, I was going to say banana skin. I think it would be an outrageous result if Foyverton can't get over the line today. Despite having a few troubles of his own, and definitely rotating the team today. He's still firmly in the playoffs. Should be seeing off these Mersey rivals. Like that the Liverpool team had to seek some sort of Gerrard in the team, so picked up Paul Gerrard as their goalkeeper instead. A rare start for Pienaar. Rare outing for Castagnier and Tim Howard as well. So no Ronaldo, no Sterling, no Clivert. Definitely a switch around for the extra midweek game. Which, to be honest, does make sense. Games have been coming thick and fast. Can't remember the last time we haven't had midweek games for League 1 and League 2 sides. Foyster's also got to the latter stages of the Carabao Cup before departing. Would have had FA Cup and EFL Trophy action in between as well. And to be honest, in the league, there's not really much peril either way. There's peril from Riedler scoring, but in terms of points, he can't really chase the automatics anymore. Would be very unlikely to get reeled in playoff-wise. He just wants to find some momentum and form over the next 2-3 months. That momentum immediately being unravelled by Karl-Heinz, another mid-90s giant, apart from being in English football. He was brilliant in Germany. That Liverpool team's actually quite good fun. There's mass changes at half-time from that shit show. Ranieri's head still firmly on the chopping block, I imagine, for Foyster, especially if he doesn't go up to the Championship ultimately. Fair play to that substitution though. Julio Arca turning in as a prime left-footed David Beckham off the left wing. What a cross that is. Another immediate reward for a goal scored. Yanked off. Poor Liam. Vegard Hegem. I wonder how many people in this draft do remember some of these Liverpool names. Like Ronnie Whelan, Vegard Hegem, Karl-Heinz Riedler. Ian Rush himself, obviously a Liverpool legend. TT Kamara's just come on. That's very exciting. Thiago and McManaman as well, both playing for a team in blue against their former Liverpool team. It's Tevez, more used to playing in blue and red. It sounds like I'm distracted, as you might have heard from the other highlights. I am distracted because I've got the Winter Olympics on in the background. I was watching some half-pipe earlier, we've now got some Super G, whatever that means. Some smaller than a downhill, bigger than a slalom. Something like that. For those interested in the curling draft that's going to come up in 4 years' time, just let me know. Deary me. It has also been entirely downhill for Foyster. More the Lindsey Vonn style of downhill. 2 broken legs and still smashing into a fence. They salvage a win, yes. Tevez really being the only difference between another embarrassing loss or drop points and scraping through with well, hopefully a win now. Roy Evans going to a 4-4-2 late in the day. Might be too late, I think. Forgot to do that League One Team of the Week. I knew I would. Just having a quick look now. Actually, Raheem Sterling, Rodri and Cristiano Ronaldo all got into that Team of the Week from last week. None of them played today. More interesting choices from Claudio. A win in the end. Made hard work of it. Most of this year has been hard work, to be honest, for Foyverton, following League 2 title, the League 2 title last year. One more game to go. And it's Brian Robson's Man Utd C up against the Red Whall, who we haven't seen for a while. Hence me checking in here. Actually quite aggressive lineup. He's usually gone for sort of the Jadon Sancho, Anthony, wide men. People at least sort of more wide wingers rather than inside forwards. But he's gone for Solskjaer and Depay either side of Berbatov today. Well, I was talking earlier about Jordi Cruyff making the Team of the Week last week, and Brian Robson's now dropped him. I've absolutely no idea who Martinez is. Some sort of acquisition they made from outside the database. Talking earlier about certain players making their way to teams that make sense. See, Brian Robson started off in the database as manager of one of the West Brom teams. Was it? Yeah, it was West Brom, not Middlesbrough. Just by chance, he's ended up at a Man United squad instead. Similar, Steven Gerrard, I think, is now the manager. Steven Gerrard is heading up Liverpool B. It's complete coincidence. Quickly, while there is a quieter moment, I will go through that League One Team of the Week. Others that sort of catch the eye. FullofStrangeham, so Levi's lads, had Paulo Ferreira and Virgil van Dijk in the defence, alongside Middlesbrough's Derek White and George McCartney, who's one of the Arsenal teams actually, the former Sunderland player. Thomas had Arjen Robben on one wing with Raheem Sterling on the other, and joining Rodri at centre mid was Clarence Acuna, an old Paraguayan centre mid for Newcastle. And then Ronaldo was joined up front by a Huddersfield striker who wasn't part of the initial database. I could get through that because nothing happened in that first half. We've now got Jordi Cruyff on, so maybe something will happen in the second. It's actually been a bit of a bland few weeks for the Red Whall. They made such a good start to the season. The early pace setters in the league sort of dropped off, still within touching distance of the playoffs. Definitely not out of it. Can't seem to put the same consistency together in recent weeks. And that won't help. Luis Morte, don't know how he's ended up there. This is his first goal of the season. Presuming then, yeah, first goal for Man Utd C. Must have moved from maybe one of the West Ham teams in January. Or maybe one of the Fulham teams, actually. In fact, at one point he was with Danielsea Y, so it may even be a drafted team that let him go in January. I should have that information, but a lot happens here. I forget some. Apparently Ten Hag is seen praising his team for being 1-0 down against one of the bottom teams. Seems some erratic management today at best. And there's Jordi Cruyff. Talked him up before today. Gone and got his 10th goal of the season. Maybe I accidentally created Johan Cruyff instead. So after this game's over, which I think Tom, bless him, will be hoping is any time now, we'll go through the other League One result. FullofStrangeham in action. Got a few League Two scores. Check the tables following today's games, and then have a quick look at the first leg of the Champions League and Europa League playoffs. I'm in action against Sporting Lisbon, while Wyman's made the trip to Maccabi Haifa. I don't think either of us would be too upset about going out of those competitions. Continuous drain on our fitness levels. This Battle of Manchester has not come out in the favour of the draft team at all. Quite a big loss, I would say. League One, and not a good result here either. Van Dijk putting Levi ahead. I think it's Brian Quinn. Vaguely remember this guy, centre mid I think. Or a left back, what do I know? I would ask Louis, but I think that might be before his time as well. Either way, not a good result for Levi in his push to try and close down Thomas and Alistair. In fact, if we look at the table now, yeah, see, actually Alistair and Thomas have already secured playoff spots with 12 games in hand. Levi 7 points off the pace required and played a game more. So Foyster, technically that win has kept him in the hunt. I mean, if he wins both of his games in hand, he's only 5 points behind Thomas. But those top two have just got so much momentum at the moment. Go down to League Two, and there was an all-Chelsea clash as well today, and it ended only slightly better than Tom's all-Manchester clash. Andre Schürrle made sure it wasn't a loss, but not a great result in what has been not a great season, to be honest, for Danielsea. It's becoming a great season for Connor, though. I mean, you'd expect a home win against Barnsley, but you never know. And that's kept him in the playoff positions as well. He's played more games than a lot, but points on the board and all that. Shearer, Adebayor, Douglas Luiz. The Kenny Dalglish experiment continues to bear fruit. It's a good team. Good win for Danielsea Cow. That's 2 wins this week, I believe. It took a second half Firmino goal, but they all count. And West Brom B have been pests at times this year. Winners will win. And Sheffield Wednesday B, also a team that slipped up a couple of us over the last few months. Not doing the same today. Away at the Sky Lews. Not been in great form themselves, but only a win would do in this fixture. See what that does to the table. You can see Connorwich now 2 points embedded into those playoff positions. Cheshampton dropping out. AFC Wimbledon obviously lost as well today, as did the Red Whall. And the Sky Lews have crept up with their games in hand. I'm sort of in a similar boat to Louis. Right at the very top now, Hart Chamberlain with games in hand on 2nd and 3rd. Sitting very pretty indeed. See if the Champions League games are finished. Sometimes they take a bit longer. Nope, we're done. And a decent result in Lisbon for myself. Balak and MATTch turning the tide on a goal from Gyökeres will obviously join the database in the coming summer after his first full season in the Premier League. I imagine will be drafted by someone, and he's already getting some good practice in. Sure that won't be the last goal he scores against me in this project. And into the Europa League, and a 2-2 draw for Wyman as well. Puts us both in a pretty good position going into the home legs. To be fair to Wyman, he's nearly rotated. Was it Unai Emery, I think? I've lost track now. Who's Wyman's manager? No, it was Van Gaal, that was it. He had Emery last year and he's gone to Danielsea Cal, hence the confusion. Yeah, he's rotated quite a lot in Europe. A lot of young players who I'm not sure who they are. But still very much in the competition. Any manager sackings? Nope. And that's the end of the midweek deluge. Next back at the weekends, League 1, League 2, National League Prem, all 28 teams in action. Bit of an old school traditional league assortment, which is a nice change. No Sunday, no Monday, just everyone on Saturday. I'll see you then.